a couple other auxiliary electric guitar parts down here. This one plays just in the first verse, that kind of like the drums drop out. I needed something to fill up all that space. With the acoustic is just kind of strumming the chord changes. There's not much else happening at all. So I brought in this electric guitar part that I just kind of finger picked the root and the octave third. Super wet with the Hall of Fame 2. I threw on an EQ just to clean up that low end. Then I used one of my cool little Soundtoys plugins. This Crystallizer is so cool. It's probably the coolest thing in the Soundtoys bundle. Like, it can do so many things. But I guess I don't know how to describe it. I guess it's kind of like a delay, but it has a lot of bells and whistles on it. Let's just see. Let's just slap it on and see if we can tell what it's doing. Sounds like it's throwing in some like reversed stuff and ping-ponging a stereo kind of deal, which is very the 1975. They have a lot of like textural background elements in a lot of their songs where you can't, it's very nebulous and you can't quite tell what's happening, but it's there and it's kind of bubbling under the surface, giving a lot of their songs this really unique feel to them. So that plugin really kind of gets me closer to that kind of vibe. So when you hear it in context, you don't necessarily pick out everything that's happening, but
despite your face, despite your nose, 17 and a half years old, worry.
It just gives you a little bit of interest in that kind of admittedly more relatively boring part. And that's the only time I brought that in, was just for that one section that needed it. Now, this last track down here, this is like my, turn the reverb all the way up, get it a nice like overdriven sound, and really start doing some volume swells and that kind of thing to try to simulate like a lap steel. With the bending and just getting that nice atmosphere in the upper register of the guitar. Love doing that. And I brought it a little more hard in the chorus. That part there is kind of a call and response to what the vocals are doing.
Girls breaking hearts, eyes bright uptight, just girls. Well, she can't be what you need if she's 17. You're just girls, you're just girls. Oh.
It makes me so happy when I can finally get those lap steel high guitar parts in. Every time I'm just like vibing with the song, and then those get added, and I'm like, okay, now this is what kind of elevates it to be a proper country tune, because so many of those classic pop country hits just have those session players that are so tasty with what they do. And a lot of times it's pretty simple, and they'll just come in and they'll add the perfect little twangy touch to something and just makes it a vibe. And I love doing that kind of stuff.
It's the Alexander Mountain songwriting